Hello, my friends. Today is February the 22nd, and this is a reading for you if this is your birth date. This is a reading for the year to follow. It's a 4 card pull, a general energy card for the year, maybe an energy that sustains through it, or maybe an energy that comes in to chunk it up and make you look at it. And then there is a particular challenge for you this year, and then there's an action to take to stay in balance, and then a synopsis card, maybe more understanding of what this is all about. This is the general energy card of the year, and it is the Pilgrim. So, what does the Pilgrim reflect upon? I think there's some part of us that is seeking. We're seeking understanding. We're seeking a path. We're seeking freedom. We're seeking adventure. We're seeking connection to something deeper in our source. We're seeking connection to not fall into the rut of everyday living that makes us numb, that makes us cold, that makes us unfeeling, that doesn't give us a spark of our life, that doesn't give us a touch of our humanity, that doesn't touch us into the mystery and the magic of the sacred and the synchronous and the magical that needs to come to us in order to balance out some of the places where we overthink, or we overfeel, or we overdo, or we overact, or we overfear and don't let ourselves live. So the Pilgrim, I think, is that part of ourselves that says, I got to go on this adventure. I've got to go seek myself, because the Pilgrim doesn't, any outside adventure to the Pilgrim is an inside journey. Outside reflects the inside, and where they are and how they're coping and what they're seeing, and adding to the more robust intelligence and information of seeing other worlds, seeing other people, seeing other things that can break it out of its mundanity. So this is a year where you might be called to go on some kind of pilgrimage, whatever that means. Maybe it's just an adventure, but more than likely that adventure is also gonna again have some sense of sacredness to it that's gonna inform you on a deep level about who you are and what spark you carry, and maybe what mission you are called to do beyond what you have been feeling stuck in. So what is the particular challenge for you? Well, Ten of Swords, Ten of Swords is kind of a painful mind place. Nine of Swords was the dark night of the soul and facing some kind of, the hardest thing maybe that you've ever faced in your life, and the chance to either get up and stand up and have courage and move through it, or to cower and fall back into old processes and things that keep you numb and keep you down. So the Ten of Swords is on some level kind of the lifting of that, but there's still not clarity. There's still not a lot of understanding for you in what's going on. The challenge with the Ten of Swords, I think, is upright or down. It's to understand why you are in pain, why you're in mental pain, why you're in emotional pain, why you're even in body pain, but mostly this is about mental pain. What are the words? What are the thoughts that are keeping you locked in? What are the thoughts that are not letting you see the magic and feel the magic, and long for the magic and long for the change, and allow things to shift, and allow life to be an adventure rather than a slugfest or a depressing pit, or but I think because this is the challenge to not be in this place, I think there's some kind of hope you see, and some kind of hope you feel, and some kind of inspiration that is tugging at you, underneath your anger, or your boredom, or your resentment, or your hostility, or your self-judgments, or your negativities that seem to feel like, the reality for you. There's something else that calls you, and there's something else that says, I've got to go on an adventure. I've got to leave this behind and see something different, and touch something different, and move something different. The Pilgrim, I've got to be sparked to be alive in my body and not give in to all these fears. I got to have the courage to move myself through my diminished thought patterns that say, no, I can't do that. No, I can't go there. No, I'm not worthy of that. No, I'm not connected to Source. No, there's nothing sacred about me. Those are the negativities that can often be the Ten of Swords, those depressing thoughts that keep you abandoned and locked away and tied down and just looking at your mind for the answers. But the mind doesn't hold all the answers. The mind and the emotions hold the answers, and the willpower hold the answers, and the body holds the answers, and the connection to sacred and mundane hold the answers. And it all meets in the heart. And if you're not in your heart, then you're not really on your fullest sense of your journey and the fullest sense of your authenticity. So the action to take is the rabbit. And the rabbit says, examine your fears. Examine why you have to go out with big eyes, always aware of things. Why does that stop you? Why does the fear of being eaten stop you? Why does the fear of being stopped stop you? Why does the fear of going after what you feel called to go after stop you? Why does what fears are running you and keeping you down and keeping you afraid? And that sits in the body and eats at the body and brings us to the lowest points of depression. And it's a choice to not be in those depressions this year. It's a choice to face your fears and have courage to be a pilgrim, to go out and explore something new, to let yourself seek the sacred that's in your heart, to let yourself seek the sacred that's in your mind. Because your mind understands, I think, on a lot of levels, that the words aren't going to have enough impact unless you feel them in your heart, unless you take them down into your soul, unless you start to act out of them in your very life, in your very depth, in your very search for your authenticity and your connection to Source. So this is a year about reconnecting to your source and becoming a pilgrim to find the widest sense of your truth and not give in to your fear and not give in to your worst possible dreams or nightmares and to not give in to the depression that might be holding you down, because there's something more and there's something greater and there's something that will connect you to your sacred center. But you have to have courage and go for it. And you have to talk yourself out of all those negative thoughts that keep you from going for it. And you have to understand that this is not the reality that you need to be in, that you can break this cycle. And this is an old cycle, and it might be a cycle that's connected to your parents and connected to your grandparents and connected to your tribe or connected to your family or connected to your society, connected to just the world experience. This is usually not just your own personal pain. This is often the pain of the world and the pain of the challenge of living in this crazy world right now. So this is a big choice to explore, and it's a wonderful choice to have the rabbit that says, I'm willing to look at my fears. I'm willing to say, what do I freeze around? Rabbits freeze and pretend to not be seen. And keep a watchful eye, but pretend to not be seen. And then when danger gets too close, they'll take off and run. But until that danger gets too close, they're going to hope that they're going to blend into the background and keep going. And maybe that's a great camouflage understanding for you. You can go out into the world with a sense of camouflage, and you can go out into the world with a sense of hiding you are. But go out into the world. Don't hide from the world. Don't hide from yourself. Recognize and change yourself within. Keep a sense of camouflage about you, but let yourself feel and live and be alive and be a pilgrim on the search for your truth and your authenticity and your highest and holiest wisdom. Not just knowledge, not just information, but wisdom. Wisdom merged with both intuition and intellect, brought together in the heart to understand the depth of challenge and understand the greatness of transmutation of poisons that are within you. Blessed be. May it be a holy and sacred and wonderful and beautiful adventurous year.